Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sundown Audio unofficial YouTube channel. My name's Derek, in case you didn't know. And if you're a regular on the channel, you probably notice we got some stuff missing. So, start off, don't forget, if you like what we're doing on the channel, click that thumbs up button, give us a like, subscribe, visit sundownunofficial.com for all your Sundown Audio t-shirts. Plenty of sizes, designs, styles, colors, all that good stuff. Check it all out at sundownunofficial.com. I will put those links in the description. Now, what's going on here? This past weekend, Excess Power Show. Awesome show, great show. By the time this video is uploaded, I should have already put the burp demo footage up. We did burp demos galore. I mean, oh my God, it felt like hundreds of burp demos, literally like all day. Nobody turned down. Matter of fact, people were running away scared when they saw how violent, just how absolutely ferocious this thing is on a demo. If you don't know, come see us August 17th, Sundown Show, Hickory Motor Speedway. I'll put those details in the description. We will be there. ProjectSPL will be there. We will be ripping people's heads off with more demos. On top of that, I should be at the Shut It Down Boyz show down in Georgia, Newnan, Georgia, August 3rd. I'm trying to be there. Unless something absolutely stops me from being there, I will be there. August 3rd, Newnan, Georgia, Shut It Down Boyz show. I believe they're calling it All Out Call Out. So if you'd like to get an absolutely just ridiculous, insane, retarded, cave your chest in, make you think you're gonna die because you cannot breathe, because it is just, as I say, ripping the air out of your lungs type of demo, come find us, have a seat in this thing. All right, now to what's going on here. Excess Power Show. Again, if you're a fan of the channel, you keep up, you watch, you know, once before we had a customer had an amp issue. They came, they needed an NS2. I pulled one out my own truck here. Pulled one out, gave it to them, so they keep going. Sundown Show, we had somebody had a problem. They needed an NS2, so we pulled them out. Left two of them there with a certain person that needed a couple of NS2s, and that's cool because I'm underway of a rebuild. That's right, and apologize. I'm gonna talk while I work. Finish getting this pulled apart and just talk about what's going on, what's going to happen. I've mentioned some of these details before, letting y'all know. So yeah, anyway, this truck all right, guys, I'm back. I got pulled to the side for just a second, came back. Not exactly sure where I left off, so I think I was gonna start talking about NS2s, and well, let's just dive in. So ever since the beginning, ProjectSPL here has always been a 12-volt setup. I do most of the time I charge normal, just like any other daily vehicle, around 14.4 volts. Every now and then, just for competition's sake, I'll bump it up a little bit to about 15 volts. I'm running 5-cell banks of caps. I do like to do the 10% overcharge theory, so I'll run them up to about 3 volts a cell, and yeah, 3 volts times 5 cell, 15 volts. That's every now and then just for competition when I need that little bit extra. Lately, that's been pretty much never, so I just run it just typical. I'm running a alternator from Custom Electric Service with their regulator, and actually run it all the way down. It's just the way it works out for me and set up. So the voltage I'm running, I can't even turn it any further down than what it is. So anyway, this has always been a 12-volt setup from the start. I did NS2s in here mainly for the wow factor. You know, they're big and they're bad, and of course they're capable of a lot of power. But NS2s are high voltage competition style amplifiers, and to be very specific, high voltage 18 volts. All the competition we do, even my class, I can run high voltage up to 18.00 volts. If you go 18.01, you're over the limit. So you can run an amp like this up to 18 volts. At 18 volts, these amplifiers will make 20,000 watts. I actually have amp dyno videos up on this amplifier. We used my cap bank that's in here, except I used a 6-cell version of it back before I broke it down to 5 cells. We used a 6-cell version, juice it up to 18 volts. I hauled this big old cap bank, all 20 banks, into the testing room. Pretty insane, just to power this amplifier to make sure we had a really, really strong power supply. 20,000 watts is a lot of power. These are big amplifiers. You have to feed them. If you want to get the power out, you've got to feed the power in. Do not forget that. That applies for all amplifiers out there. If you starve your amplifier, you're robbing yourself of power. Now, again, 18 volts. Go check out that amp dyno video, see the kind of power we got on high voltage. People keep asking for the low voltage tests. Well, I'm not going to do them. This is why. Same reason I didn't have any intentions of keeping these amplifiers in this truck. Matter of fact, in the beginning, I had no intentions of even putting these amplifiers in this truck. Again, because they're for high voltage, and I run on normal 12 volts. If you're running on normal 12 volts and not running high voltage, I'm going to tell you, don't buy this amplifier. It's not for you. Same as I tell anybody running any amplifiers out there capable of high voltage. Sure, I want people to buy Sundown, but we have a line, the Sundown Audio SCV amplifier line, that's optimized to make their power at 12 volts. Okay, or on standard charging setup. So 12 volts charging up to around the 14.4 range. You're gonna see all the power that amplifier is capable of doing in a normal range. All right, so I never intended to keep NS2s in here. They had a bit of a wow factor, obviously being huge and powerful and all that. Slapped them in and got exactly the response I wanted. Just, oh my God, so much power. Oh my God, the amplifiers are so big. Oh, wow. Ooh. Yep. But they're not ideal. So they got to come out. Again, I've already pulled 2 out to give a friend a helping hand. So they went to somebody else at X's Power Show. Now I got to pull the other 2 out in preparation for the SCV amplifiers. And that's going to be 8 SCV 7500s. Right now, on this day that I'm shooting this video, they are still out of stock. Unfortunately. We've been waiting for them to come in, and trust me when I say we want them things in stock as much as everybody out there that's waiting on them too. We're not intentionally holding them back. As a matter of fact, I hope they come in time for me to get them installed in this before I have to go to the next show, which is currently planning to be August 3rd. If I don't get amps in time, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll figure something out, but right now I'll be sitting here just with an empty ass end of the truck waiting on amps to show up so I can get this done. But anyway, back to the amps. So yeah, I never had intentions of leaving these in. SCV 7500s. Right now, I've got a really, really awesome amp dyno video I put up from Christmas last year. I call it the Christmas special. And I went through the whole gamut. You know, and a lot of times on the amp dynos, because even though we say our amps do rated power 12 volts, we'll tell people that, well, you know, whatever. Owner's manual wise, the specific owner's manual on paper power rating is 14.4 volts. Everybody else out there, all the tests I see, everybody doing everything, they're doing it at 14.4 volts. Okay, so just like when I brag about SPL numbers, when we test in the Jeep that's sitting over there, we do kick numbers. You know why? Because that's what everybody else online does. So if everybody else is going to put up the higher kick panel numbers, we are too. If everybody else is going to do the higher 14.4 volt numbers, we are too. I'm going to do that too. So amp dyno testing, I'm going to do it 14.4. That's why you don't see me do it. Everybody asks, well, I charge at 13.8. Well, I charge at 40.4. Well, I got really good electrical. I'm at 15 volts. So what about 12 volts? Man, if I had to please everybody out there, I'd have to do a zillion runs on the amp dyno. Well, when I tested those SCV 7500s, I did. There's a lot of runs in that video. I think it's 30 minutes long. So if you have time, go look that up. Christmas special from last year, SCV 7500 amp dyno. I ran that thing up and down every which way. We did low voltage tests. I turned the chargers off and I hit that amplifier back to back to back to back to back, sucking the voltage down with no charging, getting the amp hot just to drag it down and see how little power I could get out of it. And it made its rated power every which way I could test it. So all the, oh my God, I tested 12 volt guys, go watch that video. You'll probably be impressed. Now, I want to say, my memory serves me right, and it doesn't always do that, but in a setup like what I got here, where I got really good charging, and I think the uncertified test on the amp dyno, and keep in mind uncertified is right up to clipping. In an SPL scenario like this, most of the time we will actually go just a hair into clipping, and so we'll see a hair bit of extra power there at clipping, just because we could potentially get about 2 to 3 tenths. 3 tenths is the most I've ever seen with the Korean amplifier by overdriving it a little bit into clipping. But you know what? This is SPL. 3 tenths is 3 tenths, and I'll take it. So anyway, uncertified, which is right up to clipping, SV 7500, I recall it did about 9,800 watts. Maybe it was 96, but I think it was 9,800 watts. That's a lot of power. That's at 1 ohm load. Now, in a setup like this, again, if you've been following the channel, you know. If you don't, I've got these amps running at 1/4 ohm. The subs I have in here right now are custom dual half ohm coils, wired in parallel down to 0.25, 1/4 ohm. And when I get the 87500s in, I will be redoing the subs. And we will be going to dual 1/4 ohm subs, since I'm gonna have an amp per coil. I will not be strapping amps. I don't like strapping amps. I'm not a fan of it. I recommend everybody to not strap amps unless it's absolutely necessary. If you have no other option than to strap your amps, cool, do what you gotta do. But if you can get away with it by not strapping them, please do that. All right, so I'm running these amps at 1/4 ohm. I'll be running dual 1/4 ohm coils, 1 amp per coil. My reactive load tends to be about right at 3 times. And that's pending. Things could change when I change all this up. It might go completely off the wall. I don't know. I'll figure that out when I get there and I test it. But I am expecting something similar, where I'm gonna have it at 1/4 ohm, and I'm gonna rise up around 0.7-ish per amplifier. So that's where I'm at right now. It should be similar. We'll see when I get there. All right, so SEV 7500, super strong electrical. Give you another little preview of what's going on here. So currently I have 20 banks, 5 cells, 100 cells total. And for competition use, I charge them up to 15 volts. By finals in October, I will be doubling that. Right now I'm just waiting on bus bars, waiting on new bus bars to show up. I got a couple boxes of spare cells sitting over there. I forget how many I have, but I'm gonna order some more to top them off. And I'll be doing another bank, another 100 cells. So I'll have 40 banks of the excess power supercaps in here, 200 cells total. Should power 87500s nicely. So 87500s, 1/4 ohm nominal each, rise to around 0.7 with a absolutely massive cap bank behind them, holding voltage pretty well. In my experience, a setup like that, reactive around that 0.7, we're seeing 12 to 13,000 watts out of each amp. That's right, SEV 7500, 12,000 to 13,000 watts. So rail voltage wise, with, again, good strong voltage backing them up, rail voltage wise, they're capable of 100 amps. 100 volts. 100 volts clean. Even on the amp dyno video, see, I'm pretty sure I went in there, I did the buzz thing, I measured the clean voltage, and I want to say in that video it was around 96, 98. And again, that was, at that 14 volt range. Good, solid, 14.4 to 15, 100 volts. So you do the math there. 100 volts at 0.7 reactive. How much current is that? I'll help you out. It's about 140 amps of current. So 100 volts, 140 amps of current, that's 14,000 watts. I don't know if I'll see that much. Not planning on seeing that much. probably won't have to push them nowhere close to that since I have 8 amps. But what I'm getting at is the amps are capable of a lot of power, and I'm gonna have a lot of power on tap. I probably won't have to push them nowhere close. So far, and again, some of the older videos, if you haven't seen them, go back and look at some of the testing from the first time I turned this thing on. I've been very upfront and transparent, and I mean, hell, I think one of the first times I turned this thing on, I did it in live feed on Facebook, just to let everybody see it, see what was going on. I haven't needed to bullshit about any of my numbers, anything like that. So if you go back and look, I want to say 68.5, which is what I've been showing in competitions. 68.5 was done around 30,000 watts. To get up there, to get to my goal, I know power compression is going to come into play. I'm going to start losing a little bit of efficiency, and things aren't going to gain as linear. But basically, I'll say I'm even on the bottom end. If only can get 12,000 per amp times 8, I got 96,000 watts on tap, and I know good and well I'm gonna have that easy. 96,000 watts on tap takes me 30K to do a 68.5. I don't know. You do the math from there. Again, doesn't mean I'm gonna gain 4 dB or anything from it, because again, power compression come into play, efficiency loss is gonna come into play, all kinds of stuff. What I'm getting at, I think I'm gonna have enough power for what I need to do. Will I see my overall goal of a 172 this year? Probably not. I mean, maybe. Probably not though. I'm a realist. I gave myself that goal because it was way out there. I wanted to just absolutely shoot for the stars. I do not expect to see it my first year diving in. Don't expect that to happen at all. Next year will be the year I think the possibility is going to happen. Next year, I'm probably also going to be redoing the inside and going to 6 subs. I made this box Google Universal, so I can do the 418s or I can do 615s. I like playing with the 418 setup for right now. It's doing really well for me, so I've stuck with that. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with that all this season, finish it out with 418s. Next season, go to the 6. When I go to 6, guess what I'm going to do? I'm gonna add more amps. So we're gonna do 6 subs, and we're gonna add 4 more amps, and we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna see what happens. And fingers crossed, I can figure out whatever. And even if I break the windshield, I can, even with it broken and moving and flexing and flopping, can just power through whatever I gotta do. We're gonna shoot for that 172. This year, if I can crack a 70, I will be just ecstatic. 170, here we come. Finals this year. But that's it. I'm gonna shut up because I've been yapping away for, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes now. I'm gonna shut up so I can just dive in here and not worry about the camera or talking or yapping. But that's it. That's what's currently going on. That's what's in the process of getting done. Just waiting on amps to show up, and they do. Be popping them in, build me some racks and shelves and random stuff. Get those 8 amps in here. So I'm gonna go and wrap this up. Remember, guys, if you like what we're doing here on the channel, don't forget, click that thumbs up button for me. Give us a like, subscribe. SundownUnofficial.com. I'll put that link in the description for all your Sundown tees. Check them out there. We've got the cool off combo kits with the sunglasses, the fans. The fans light up. They're super awesome. People at the shows that are seeing them in person are loving these things. They light up and they spin and fade and do these little tricks. Anyway, they're just awesome. We've got all the different tees. We've got the Eat Sleep Sundowns. We've got the basic Sundowns, the classic Sundowns. We got the Sex and Subwoofer tees. We've added the pink versions on there for the ladies. Y'all asked for them. I know you loved them at X's Power Show. We were selling the pink tees left and right. Check them all out. SundownUnofficial.com. Thumbs up. And until next time, guys. We'll see y'all then.